Well, hello there. You're watching OffBeat Business TV or listening to the OBBM Network podcast. I'm your host, Susan Hamilton, and I'm going to be sharing some interesting technology conversations because all of these things, you've heard the term networking. Wait till you see how we're going to put it all together for you. We'll be right back.
Welcome to OffBeat Business TV and the OBBM Network podcast. CEO and host Susan Hamilton shares vital insight from local DFW leaders on successful life and business, focused squarely on local family business. It's time for our nation to rise, and we'll do it through a vibrant local business sector that stands up for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Ready to meet your advocates? Here's your host.
Hi there, welcome back. Today I'm talking with Rob Bliss. Now he's the founder of SmartOffice USA, and you know I dig that name, right? So important. Friends, I want to remind you how much we care about you, and I think you're really going to enjoy this conversation for a couple reasons. One of those is that 90% of American micro to small business tend to be family-owned businesses of 9 employees or less. That means we're building our business while we're raising our kids, taking care of our parents. We probably have an EMT, law enforcement in our family or workspace. It just kind of tends to be how we are. And about 30 to 50% of us have an addict in our family or workspace. So our time is super, super important. And so are our relationships. If we're going to get something done, we're going to get it done by someone you've heard it before, you know, you like, and you trust. So a couple things that are really interesting about Mr. Bliss over here, on top of his fabulous name. You heard that right. This is Rob Bliss. Very cool name, Rob.
Thank you. Happiness is?
Happiness is.
Or as my friends say, ignorance is.
Uh-oh. Well, you know what? Another commonality about the local family business is the fact that they tend to have a home office even after they've moved into a brick and mortar. So if they're making that move because it's a smart tax strategy, right? They want to be close to the school. They want to be close in their community, and they're probably taking care of their parents. All of those pieces are so, so important. So when everything happened last year, well, home office is something we pretty much understood, but a lot of the community didn't. And more, this changing landscape really presents a lot of security problems and a lot of technology issues that a company like yours can really be a solution for.
No, exactly what you're talking about, Susan. That is what's really important now with the VOIP phone system. Whether you're just working from home or you've got your own office space, but one of the important things now is turning your cell phone, your personal cell phone, into your business phone. In the past, people have used the small business owner or solo entrepreneurs using their personal cell phone. Therefore, anyone they call, they're leaving that personal number. With the new VoIP phone systems, we put an app on the phone, and it turns your personal phone into your business phone. So now you can separate your personal life from your business, and it really is very helpful for people.
Yeah, that's just one solution. I've also learned, as many of you did, that when everybody's home using all their products, it's really hard to get the speed that you need for upload, for download. A lot of times we're seeing that circle just spin. And I heard that there's ways that we can layer our technology and make more sense. Is that something that you do?
Well, we advise people on their internet bandwidth, and that really is probably the cheapest solution, especially if you got your office at home, is that now the big providers such as AT&T and Spectrum have just recently doubled, tripled the bandwidth and lowered the price. Now you can get 200 meg, 400 meg for $59 a month, and that kind of speed would do a household full of 3 or 4 kids and mom and dad on the computer at the same time.
Yeah, I think like a lot of people, when everything happened last year, I had my home office area, but my husband didn't. So when he ended up coming home, now our bedroom looked like NASA. We had all these extra places because we had to have a quiet spot to work, and you had to kind of revamp that. And I know so many people did.
And one other thing too is AT&T just made a major announcement of offering their 5G network wireless that again is huge, because again the bandwidth is going to go way up, and the cost again is $59 a month. It's going to be huge. It's going to be nearly up to a gig, which is 3 or 4 times what people are using now. So there's really some neat things happening.
Well, now we've got the other direction. Now we've got the local business opening back up, and recovery's happening, and businesses are moving again, and they're thinking about growth again. And if you're not thinking about growth, you need to be thinking about growth, because you're not going to have it if you don't consider it and start making those plans and be ready to do it. I wonder how a lot of these office spaces are holding up after the big, like you said, all these big changes. We're noticing them on the residential side. Are you noticing anything on the commercial side?
Well, again, to be honest with you, with the bad news last year of the pandemic, our business still had about a 14% growth. We saw a lot of businesses, the ones that were hit hardest were the restaurant business, the hotel business, anything to do in that area. But when it came to commercial business, we were very fortunate to live in Texas. We're very fortunate to live in Dallas-Fort Worth. We still had growth. Dallas-Fort Worth was the #1 city in commercial building last year. And so it's huge. People are still pouring in from other parts of the country into it. So our economy has not been stricken as hard as other parts of the country, except for, again, a couple of those industries that I said before. So we saw good growth last year. And again, Dallas-Fort Worth is a very entrepreneurial city. We've got great business leaders. We've got great young entrepreneurs here. They are propelling growth in the city. And so with all these people moving here, there's just so much building going on. There are entrepreneurial environments, that people opening up businesses where they need technology. So it's very exciting times, really.
It is. And that's what made me wonder about that, because now there's this interesting space where a lot of the shared office spaces, the co-working spaces that are a little bit newer, we've still had some new deals on the market since things happened just recently. And what about the way that the older buildings need to compete now, and they are, with making it more affordable to have an office space and encouraging us to get back to work again?
Well, that's a good point. We just moved our office 4 months ago. We moved from Dallas to Farmers Branch, which is, again, my home where I live. So I feel a good sense of community. But we went into a Class B building, a building that really is old and run down. But a new business owner bought it about a year ago, has put money into it, and has revitalized it. We love the space. The location is great, being close to the Galleria. Being really, I call our area, I guess I'm a little biased, but I call our area the heart of, Dallas. But yeah, we're seeing that in the lower class buildings, they are starting to build up to attract the small business owners that want to move from, say, home out to commercial space.
Yeah, there's a million reasons why our local communities need to get excited about getting back to work. It's so much better. And we kind of miss that professional side of having a location. And I hear that time and time again. And it's interesting that while some of the larger companies sent everybody home, technology was an issue, security was an issue. How can they still do the same kind of secure work they were doing in their previous office environment? Now we got to take that home. But now they're making those transitions back as people are starting to open up again. And I think this is going to be a really cool space for you.
Yeah, we're excited about it. We had some growth. We hired 3 new people last year. We're doing a lot more remote work now, and we can serve our customer better that way. Even if they're still working at their home, not their home office, but their commercial space, we've been able to bring the cost of technology down with our remote workers so that we can fix their problem faster, so they can be more efficient and serve their client base better.
Oh, I love that. Between the VOip services and having a local face that can take care of some of these technology problems, no matter what phase of business you're in, it's really handy to know Rob Bliss with SmartOffice USA. That is brilliant. Now, we're about to take a break and hear from a few of our sponsors. And when we get back, we're going to talk a little bit more about why this relationship is so very cool and why you need to meet Rob Bliss and go check out his office at SmartOffice USA over there in Farmers Branch. There's a lot more to to having a business today. Today, we're having a business in community. We'll be right back.
What does it mean to devote your life to the truth? Does it mean investigating communist subversion here in America? Does it mean exposing the deadly fentanyl crisis in the Midwest? We're spending late nights and covering deep government corruption. Does it mean persevering over 20 years, even after 4 masked men set one of our printing presses on fire last year? Because at a time when America's traditional values are under attack, it's the responsibility of righteous journalists to uphold truth and tradition.
My American dream is to help you stay healthy and energized so you can live your American dream.
Our American dream is equipping future generations of American dreamers.
My American dream is to protect my community so they can live their American dream.
My American dream is to bring you some spice and flavor to your life.
Our American dream is ensuring what's most valuable to you.
Our American dream is creating opportunities for healthcare providers so they can have their American dreams.
My American dream is serving our business community and advocating for all of your American dreams.
And we're back. My name is Susan Hamilton, and you're watching OffBeat Business TV. Today, I'm over here with Rob Bliss with SmartOffice USA, and we've really enjoyed a bunch of great conversations, my friends. Part of that's because we put ourselves in a situation where we can have conversations, have legitimate conversations. And one of the things that we both feel very strongly about is business needs to have all the tools necessary to move forward powerfully right now.
Absolutely. Really, when we moved our office to Farmers Branch, the whole idea was to build community. And recently we've joined the chamber. And I think Farmers Branch is kind of a hidden gem because it's one of those big little cities, lots of small business owners. And really at this point of my career, I have a passion for the small business owner. Yeah. They need help, especially in these times with technology changing. And so we have really built our program around helping the small business owner, and that's from 50 users to below. Our real niche is from 5 to about 25. But I really enjoy helping them, and that's another reason why I started another company, Purple Cow Branding, which is a marketing company, where we help the small business owner develop his website. We have a DIY marketing program, because one of the good features of the VoIP phone system is that we can put a plug-in on his website, and it will, when someone clicks it, it will ring the phone on his customer service desk. It will help generate revenue, so that you got the combination of your website, your phone system, technology with your marketing package. Again, a complicated thing, but with our DIY program of helping the small business, we can help him afford and expand his business.
Oh, that's brilliant. It's those little pieces of professionalism that really change the way your business looks in the eyes of the community. And they want to know they're getting fabulous service. That couldn't be more important than today. I mean, look what happened to customer service across the board. A lot of places that are getting served right now, our front lines are suffering a little bit. Can we just be honest? They're suffering a lot. A lot of it, we're going to have to look into ourselves as a community to see how we can address much better. Because we want service. We want to be cared for well. We want to know that our dollar is buying more and then some, right? That value is there.
Absolutely.
So those small pieces that have to do, those professional pieces, help that person know that you care enough about him to get to that next stage. So I love that. That's a really great way to it's going to look simple. It's complex, as you mentioned, but it's going to look really simple to to your customer. Because your customer just wants to get it done. They just want it done.
Right.
They want to know you heard them.
Well, one of the big things when you go back to customer service is that my biggest competitor in the VoIP world is the big companies, the Ring Centrals, the Vonage, the Nextiva, the 8x8s. But our differentiator is that we're local and we send real people to your office to help you install the phone system, to train you on the phone system, and to solve your problems. We're there in person. And because your phone system, when that rings, that's dollars ringing into your business, and they've got to be up and running.
It's got to be up and running, and they want to know that their answers are being channeled to the right place. Phone tree's not simple. Right. Little plug out to Melanie Murphy, who does some of the most amazing phone tree work right here in the DFW area. If you wonder if your phone answering system could be better, you probably need to reach out to Melanie Murphy VO, and I'll just leave that right there. Gold, she's also the voice that introduces OffBeat Business TV and has for several years now. So very grateful for that relationship. And it is all about relationships, right? It's all the people that we work with, and we were talking a little bit about that before this episode was started. How important those things are to know what networking groups that you are associating with and to actively participate in a way that makes good business sense for not just you, but for everyone else that's attending that room, right? They all need to, if you're not a catalyst, there's a different level in networking though. I don't think everybody walks in and they're a professional networker and they know how to do it. And I hope that in 2021, I hope we're bringing even more people into the networking space. I hope we're blowing it out. I hope all you guys are out there meeting people and shaking hands again and getting things started. Because this community, business has always been the economic indicator. The community looks at the business owners to decide what they are going to believe is the reality of their community. They always have, right? I mean, if you've got a business owner that's supporting that local school, do you feel like that local school has the school spirit? Yes, you do, right? So it's a big part of that. So us getting out there in a strong way, having great business, generating those referrals for each other, and knowing how to communicate each other's value, I think networking really gives us that opportunity to do it. And if we're meeting in person, we're actually walking the walk and talking the talk and helping that other business make money because we participated. We bought a meal there, right? Bought a drink there. Absolutely. We're hanging out.
Absolutely. I mean, networking is essential, especially for the small business owner. It's been my #1 revenue generator for the last 7 years plus. But the thing that I am kind of exploring right now is the fact that I read a good book about 2 years ago, a New York Times bestseller by Derek Coburn called Networking is Not Working. And it really the light bulb went off, where I'm saying, yeah, that guy has a point. Going to these weekly networking meetings and so on, it's kind of a burnout. I'm not getting the ROI on that. And then he really gives some great suggestions. How we can build better, stronger relationships. And I would encourage people to get on Amazon or local bookstore and get Networking is Not Working, because it will help. Like you said earlier, we think we're all good networkers, but we haven't got the education on it. And I've got a library in my office of over 27 networking books.
I love that.
And it's my passion to become a better networker. How can I help my clients? How can I help my community? And it's just so important. And so I want to be authentic. I want to be real. And I want to help people. And I've got to get better at being a better networker and helping the community.
Do you hear the heart of this? I know you feel the same way. I know you're listening to this interview and you're thinking to yourself, wow, that sounds like me. I want to be able to do that. So I just wanted to showcase a handful of things that Rob was just talking about. This library that he's got in his office, he's not kidding. And I network with this guy, so I have the pleasure of hanging out with him at a couple different groups. And one thing that everyone will tell you is, man, you got to go check out Rob's office and you got to go check out his books. And what I love about these 2 walls that are bumper to bumper books, shelf upon shelf, they're for every different level of business. So you've put yourself in a position where when we're talking about being a resource for professional growth, for personal growth, all those pieces, if you wonder if there's a business book on that, you need to get over here to SmartOffice USA in Farmers Branch and check out what Rob is doing over there, because there's a book for every level of your business. So you can anything from employment to sales, to understanding the networking, to understanding the technical pieces that are going to make a more effective and efficient business.
Absolutely.
That's where money is.
Yeah, I mean, it's so important. We do need to spend more time, learning, and that's again one of the hard things for small business owners. He was wearing 10 hats, and how do we do it?
That's interesting. My mom, I talk about that all the time. There was a generation that could do that. Right? Mm-hmm. But that was a long time before marketing and technology moved at such a rapid pace. And right now, if you don't have the right people in those spaces, that you can't wear all those hats. They're going to get really heavy.
Right. Yeah, it's just I really want to encourage people to pick up a book, whether it's 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day. There's so much to learn. Surround yourself with people. I just talked to someone today about a mastermind and how you can share ideas and collaborate with other people. I mean, a great concept. You're going to be around people who are going to bring value to you and your business. So learning every day is part of our journey.
You also have a really great approach with social media. So you're not everywhere carrying on and just being, you're not doing just a spray approach, right? So you are the man on LinkedIn, and you're paying attention to trends, mm-hmm. and you're wanting to make sure that you are you're using those trends for forward motion. But in so doing, you bring everybody with you.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think that's important. Again, I'm not a social media expert, a strategist by all means. But again, when you learn about building community, building relationship, LinkedIn is the perfect source, is the medium to go to, and it's easy. It's a DIY program where again a small business owner without a marketing budget can do it. It sends to your community the sense that you do care about them. You're giving them information, and that's what it's all about: real, authentic relationships, and you can do that on LinkedIn for less than 5 minutes a day.
People remember where they got the great next step, right? And I know in my life, I look at the advances in my professional development, the advances in my business, and every one of those can really be traced back to one of the things we've spoken about today. And networking on some level. I probably got a great piece of advice from someone. I probably got a great piece of advice from a book. I probably got something actionable that I can do right now that really moved the needle. I may have had some really great social media connections. OffBeat Business Media is everywhere. We're in all those locations because you can't have a media company and not be everywhere. They are in those locations. But knowing how they're all just a little bit different, they all have a little bit of a different focus. And when in the B2B space, I really like what LinkedIn's doing right now, and I like I like having to learn some of the new alternative social medias. They're not as handy at the moment, but I intend to make sure I can master those so people can learn them. Rob, this is such a great time talking with you. I'll tell you what, I hate to break for commercial, but I do love to break for commercial because every single business that's supporting this program is supporting you. So we're going to take a few minutes and hear from them, and we'll come back for a few more minutes with Rob.
The Gym, 801 South Greenville Avenue in Allen, Texas, offers 24/7 access for people who know life isn't just 8 to 5. Free weights, cardio equipment, nutrition bar, group boxing classes, amateur boxing, and personal training. It all starts with you making one good decision. Call 214-504-1400 and get to the gym on your schedule. The Gym, where fit happens.
Strong business has always been the clear economic indicator. Work Suites in Allen, Texas is just one of 18 locations in DFW and Houston that support your necessary transitions with full service and affordable workspaces for upgrading or downsizing your current workload. You need to be focused on growth. Trust the office experts and helpful staff at WorkSuites to take care of everything else, from dedicated phone lines and internet to furnished executive and co-working spaces. The OBBM network has tripled our business in the short months we've been with WorkSuites and encourages you to step out boldly, make the tough decisions, and get back to work your way. Your nation depends on it. The OBBM network acknowledges that this is a pivotal time in history, and it is clear the United States of America has been undermined by many of our elected officials for some time now. We want our local business audience to stand strong in the face of what we now understand, and to be empowered to grow our businesses on the local level beyond the limitations that have been imposed upon us. We believe it is in our national interest to inspire our communities through strong economic development, and additionally to hold our elected officials accountable for accurate representation of we the people. For that reason, we encourage you to go to WeStandForFreedom.com to learn about the National Write Your Congressman organization that has been the trusted communication tool for local communities for over 60 years. Learn how your representatives are voting. Understand the laws and regulations under consideration on the state and federal level before they are enacted at the county and city levels. Communicate directly with these officials and stand up for yourself, for by doing so, you will protect the communities you serve from tyrannical rule and unconstitutional reforms. The OBBM network is the premier voice for local business, and we take that responsibility seriously. The OBBM network has everything you need to grow and transition your business for success on popular syndicated podcast networks, Roku and other video channels, and the OBBM network app. We work for you, local business, and we've got your back. And we're back for the very last segment that we have to hear just a little bit more from the brilliant mind of Rob Bliss and SmartOffice USA. Thank you so much for what you're doing in the community. Thank you for the example that you set. And I'm really tickled that you've joined the Farmers Branch Chamber, in my opinion, the best chamber in DFW.
Number one.
I mean, they are doing some amazing things. You know, every single year, one of the things I love about them, they were the first to go into the golf tournament. This in 2020, the very first to open up to do that, the very first to get out and go meet in person at the local business and give these restaurants business over our networking lunches. So proud to be a part of that. Just a real thrill. So welcome aboard in that, and you're going to love it. Those are long-term relationships, no doubt about it. One of the things they do every year is the Small Business Expo that they do every spring.
Yes.
And so you've got some interesting things you'll be doing in that capacity now.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Susan. Yeah, I kind of jumped on board. Small Business Expo. It's going to be on April the 2nd, a Friday, from 1 to 5. It's going to be a fun time, even though, again, the economy's just opening up. It's still kind of difficult, but it's going to be live and in person. We're going to have a speaker's corner. We're going to have some exciting speakers there. We've already signed up our first one, Brian Flanagan, our sales trainer that spent over 20 years working side by side with Zig Ziglar.
Brian is such a blast. If you don't do anything else for your business, go listen to Brian. If there's a story to be told, he's got it. He will keep you engaged. Totally love that guy.
Yeah, he is awesome. But the thing, I really like about it is the fact that we're going to build up the small business community in Farmers Branch. And we want to expose that to the other people, not just in Farmers Branch.
I was going to say, do you have to?
But in the other areas too. Right. Because again, we're kind of the central of Dallas. And so, yes, we want other businesses to come in and see us. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have 40 booths, which are, I think just about half are already sold out. And we're working on some other surprise events that are going to happen, the interest for people to drop by Friday afternoon.
So if you've wanted to check out OBBM Radio, we are going to be doing some live sets from that moment between 1 and 5.
Very excited about that.
And that's really fun. And we haven't done that since the golf tournament. So we don't do that often, but we absolutely do that in support of these events that we're excited about jumping in on. Anything that Grace has got her name on, I'm probably going to support that because she's usually not wrong.
Oh yeah, the Chamber has outstanding leadership with Grace, and then the Alex Segal as well from 5 Star Ford and Chevy. Those two are so dynamic and they work so hard for the success of the chamber.
Dedicated.
Absolutely.
So it's an honor to be a part of people, of a group that really wants progress here.
Yeah.
They want to see us not just hanging on with one little finger. Are we going to make it? Are we going to make it? That can't be your attitude, folks. It cannot be your attitude. If you're going to really make a difference here, you have to be determined that you can. And then you need to be connected to the people that can make it happen. And there are several different levels of that. Everything from the internals of your business and the customer experience to how you're letting the world know about you. And at OBBM, we understand how important it is to educate your referral pipelines. It is about the B2B experience, because by supporting us in that, we are the hubs, folks, of every single community. If you really want to make a difference on the local level, you realize that you'll be impacting not only your frontline and the people inside your company that you are employing, that you're bringing on, but also everyone that comes in and out of your business. So don't feel powerless, friends, and I want to urge you that if you're feeling like you're just tired. I talked to a business owner just last week, and it's not the first time I've heard this, but I see his face when I think about that today. That here he's been in business, right around 20 years. Everybody knows him. He's been taking care of the teenagers in the community. They have all have positions with his company. But, it was so hard on him last year. He had to let people go. He felt like he took such a beating over all of this that I said, look, what can we do? Because that's my heart for how can we make things better. I said, if we make it better, would you want to stay in business? Would your attitude change about that if you had more business, if things picked up? And he said, you know what, I think things are going to pick up, but I don't know. Now I'm tired and I don't think I want to do this anymore. That is a big problem, because for every business that goes out of business, 6 more go with it. So if you want to make a difference with your business, encourage another business owner. Find some way to network, find some way to participate in the events that are going on, get awesome at your customer experience, know who you can trust to come into your business and help you put together and take care of these pieces. And we are going to have a stronger economy when we behave like that. That's the fastest way to get it back up. Mm-hmm. So with that, thank you for spending some time with us. It's very, very valuable. Rob, how can people reach you?
Our website is SmartOfficeUSA.com. Thanks for having me.
Wonderful. You can find the OBBM network everywhere podcasts are. Find us on Roku and YouTube and all the places. You'll hear about that as we get out of the show. Until next time.